This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Top 50 Greatest Rappers of All Time, 2021 edition. As you all know, I plan on doing one of these lists every year as it changes constantly. This is a great, friendly, controversial debate that has been going on for a long time. I would love if you put your list in the comments below for a respectful debate because I respect everyone's opinions and I know everyone's gonna be different. So with no further ado, let's jump right into this top 50 Greatest Rappers of All Time list. Just like last year, I'm gonna rattle off the bottom few because let's be honest, 50 through 25, you could really put anywhere. So at number 50, I have Big Daddy Kane, classic old school artist. 49, I have Kool G Rap, another classic, of course. 48, I have Big Boy, one half of Outkast. I think he definitely belongs on this list. I think he has the pure lyrical talent and MC abilities to be in this top 50 list. At number 47, I have Twista. I love his super fast flow. It gets me every time, and I think he deserves a nod. At number 46, I'm going with Logic. I think his whole discography, I think his whole career, even though he retired fairly early in his career just to enjoy his life, I think his storytelling ability and his lyrical ability allow him to be on this list. 45, I have Rhapsody. 44, I have Mac Miller. RIP to Mac Miller. I think what he has done is very significant. I think he's touched a lot of people's lives, and I think he hits you right in the heart when he raps, and I really do think he has the talent to be on this list. I think he deserves it. Number 43, I'm going with Slick Rick. Number 42, I have LL Cool J. 41, I have Jadakiss. And at 40, I have Royce da 5'9". Obviously, he's in Bad Meets Evil and has had a colorful solo career. At number 39, I'm putting A$AP Rocky. I think he's a great new school artist. His style is so smooth. A$AP Rocky is so smooth. I think he definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 38, I'm putting Krayzie Bone. Shout out Cleveland. I think Krayzie Bone is so influential, especially to the modern day artists with his melodic flows, singing flows, and I think Krayzie Bone definitely deserves to be on here. 37, I'm putting Lupe Fiasco. 36, I have Chuck D. Chuck D, obviously, Public Enemy. I think Public Enemy was fantastic, and I think Chuck D definitely deserves a nod on this list. Number 35, I'm going with Cam'ron. Personally, I think Cam'ron is pretty underrated, and I definitely think he deserves top 40 for sure. Number 34, I'm going with Prodigy. 33, we're going with Killer Mike. Obviously, Killer Mike's a fantastic lyricist, and what he's done with Run the Jewels overall, I think it's unique and very stylistic, and he should be on here. 32, I'm going with Eazy-E. Last list, I didn't have him on here, but this list, I had to put him on here. What he did with NWA is just obviously amazing. The reason I didn't have him last year is because obviously at the start, he wasn't even trying to be a rapper, and you know, Ice Cube was writing all this stuff, but I still think Eazy-E deserves to be on this list because he did get better as his career went on. 31, I'm going with Pusha T. I think very highly of Pusha T. He's a great storyteller, and he's one half of Clips, and Clips was an amazing rap group. So Pusha T definitely at number 31. Number 30, I have 50 Cent. I think 50 Cent owned the early to mid 2000s, even going into the late 2000s, but he owned the club scene, and he just had that sound. It was unique, and I think it was awesome. I love the way 50 Cent raps. 29, I'm going with DMX. I think DMX brought the energy. I think he brought the hype, and he's by far one of the most hype rappers of all time. Number 28, I'm giving Q-Tip the nod here. I think with what he did in A Tribe Called Quest really helps him deserve to be on this list. Obviously, he has extreme lyrical talent, and he's just a pure natural MC. 27, I'm going with Run from Run DMC. Didn't have him last year. I definitely overlooked him. I think he's extremely influential. Obviously, he worked with Aerosmith in the 80s. I mean, I think Run DMC, obviously the whole thing, the whole group, but Run, I just think they deserve to be on this list. At 26, one of my personal favorites, I'm going with KRS-One. I love the Sound of the Police record, the I Got Next album, and Return of the Boom Bap. I think he's so underrated. Number 25, I'm going with Miss Lauryn Hill. So smooth. She definitely deserves to be in the top 25. We're getting to the front half here, and this is where things start to heat up. At number 24, I'm going with Jocy Badass. I think his album All American Badass is amazing. I think Before the Money and 1999 projects are just amazing. I don't know how famous or popular they are, but I think they're very overlooked. 23, I'm going with J. Cole. His pure storytelling ability and his lyrical content just really gets to me, and he can really speak to everyone, and that's why I love J. Cole. I mean, he got Jay-Z to notice him. He's a fantastic rapper. That Friday Night Lights mixtape, fantastic. In 22, I'm going with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is definitely a mix between old school and new school. I think he can do a lot of different things, and he's got the longevity to prove it. I think Lil Wayne has the longevity to prove that he's a top 20 to 25 rapper. His wordplay is just like no other. 21, I'm going with Big L, and now we are stepping in to the top 20, and at number 20, I have Snoop Dogg. I think his just chill, relaxed style, relaxed flow is like no other, and you could just chill out to Snoop. I love his voice. I think he's a really funny dude. He's just relaxed and unique, man. Snoop Dogg at number 20 for sure. 19, I have Scarface. I think Scarface deserves more credit. Not a lot of people have him in the top 20. I love the tone of his voice. I love the tone of Scarface's voice, and his flow is really great. I just think Scarface is a great natural MC. At number 18, I have Big Pun, that Capital Punishment album. That album's just legendary. Big Pun's a fantastic MC. 17, I have Method Man. Number 16, I have AZ. He's been around forever and he's still around. Very underrated. Does not have a lot of monthly listeners on Spotify. Should have a lot more. And I honestly didn't have AZ on my list last year, but once I went back and listened to him this past year, that dude definitely deserves top 20, man. His lyrical talent is insane. Top 15, here we go. This is where it starts to get real controversial and a real tough list to create. So at 15, I have Redman. At 14, I have Rakim. What Eric B and Rakim did was amazing. Obviously, Rakim being an amazing MC, amazing lyricist with a great flow. At number 13, I'm going with Ice Cube. What he did with NWA, obviously extremely influential, and I think he's one of the best songwriters out of this whole group. Number 12, I'm gonna give it to Ghostface Killah of Wu-Tang, and then number 11, I'm gonna give it to Raekwon. The only reason Raekwon inches above Ghostface Killah, in my opinion, is that Only Built for Cuban Links album. I just can't get enough of that album. I think that album is legendary and could go down as a top 10 best hip-hop album of all time. At number 10, I'm going Tupac. I can't not have Tupac in the top 10. Tupac touched so many people's lives. He hits you right in the heart. He spoke from the heart. Tupac was so poetic when he wrote, and he was so poetic and stylistic when he rapped. I definitely think he deserves top 10, and he has an underrated flow. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but with what I've heard over the last year, his flow is definitely underrated. At number 9, I'm going with Kanye West. Now, Kanye West has always been a top tier producer, but let's be honest here, folks. College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, all the way up to Life of Pablo have been very amazing albums. And even if you're an old school hip hop head, you have to respect the legendariness, I don't even know if that's a word, of College Dropout through Graduation. Those 3 albums in themselves deserve a lot of honor. Number 8, I got Andre 3000. I think Andre 3000 has never missed. I just don't think he's ever missed a feature, or whether it's on Outkast. Andre 3000, amazing lyrical talent, and he has an amazing voice. I think he's not even a bad singer as well. So Andre 3K at number 8. Here at number 7, I'm giving it to Black Thought of The Roots. I think Black Thought definitely deserves top 10. He is probably the best freestyler of all time. Maybe one of them, for sure. I think he's underrated. I even think he's almost disrespected in the wide range of the music world. I think Black Thought deserves all of it. Just what he's done with The Roots, I mean, how influential have The Roots been? And especially because of him. Obviously, the whole band in itself, they make incredible music, but man, Black Thought, he's got freestyling abilities like no other, off the top of the dome, too. At number 6, I'm going to give it to Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. I think Notorious B.I.G. is so smooth. He's got so much style. He had so much swagger when he rapped, man. R.I.P. Notorious B.I.G. One of the best lyricists ever, man. I mean, him and P. Diddy together, they were quite the team. I really love Biggie Smalls. I think he did a lot of different things. I think he was funky. I think he was profound. I think he did everything great as an MC. Top 5 time. This is nitty gritty. This is the most controversial part of any top 10 hip hop list. At number 5, I got Eminem. Let's be honest. Eminem is a diamond selling artist. He was brought up by Dr. Dre, who saw amazing potential and talent in him. He was so controversial. He said so many things that so many people wouldn't, yet most of the world absolutely loved what he was saying, which is weird but fascinating at the same time. He made incredible albums. He worked with so many artists. He's just a great old school hip hop artist, and his career has been so long. It's over 20 years, and he's still here, and that's saying something to me. So Eminem at number 5. At number 4, I'm going with Kendrick Lamar. I think Kendrick Lamar has solidified himself as a top 5 hip-hop artist. You look at To Pimp a Butterfly, and even though it's so politically charged, not everyone wants to hear that all the time, but his flow, his lyrical content, his ability to connect with others on such a deep level, and even To Pimp a Butterfly, I always say it's more of a literacy project, a piece of literature that will go down in history as one of the best pieces of literature. Mark my words. And he's even got records on like Damn and Good Kid, Mad City that you can turn up to, and that goes super hard, that people absolutely love. I think Kendrick Lamar can do a lot, and he's very unique in his own way. I think Kendrick Lamar has solidified himself. Kendrick at number 4. Number 3. I'm giving it to MF Doom. R.I.P. MF Doom, man. When he died, I really looked back at his whole discography and what he did, and really just how inspiring, influential the man could be. And his flow was incredible. That man could ride a beat almost like no other. I think MF Doom's internal rhyme schemes especially are really what put him up here, because he could rhyme insanely well. MF Doom's rhymes rhymed like no other. I really couldn't believe it when I really looked back at it, really listened to MF Doom and got into his discography. So MF Doom at number 3. At number 2, I have Jay-Z. I mean, come on, man. He's one of the best storytellers out there. His discography speaks for itself, and his longevity is insane. He's been around for 25 years now. Jay-Z is one of the best of all time, and I'm just not going to deny that. I think his storytelling ability is what puts him up in the top 3. Jay-Z's a legend. Jay-Z is a legend, and he's this number 2 rapper. So you know what that means. At number 1, it's gotta be Nas. This year, I'm putting Nas at number 1. I went back, really listened to everything he's done from the 90s all the way up until now. You know, even that summer with Kanye West, when he released that 7-track album, that was still fire. Like, Nas rarely misses, if he ever does. And let's be honest here, Illmatic, one of the, if not the best hip-hop album of all time. I'd be very curious to hear all of your top 5 hip-hop albums of all time, not even just rappers. But Nas may be the best storyteller out there, and isn't that such a big part of hip-hop, is your storytelling ability and your rhyming ability? And Nas just overall has both of those, and I think all of his albums combined, his styles combined, really allows him to be the number 1 rapper of all time. So there it is. That's my top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think should be switched around? Who do you think should be taken out? And who should be put in this list? While you're at it, let me know your top 3 to 5 hip hop albums of all time. If you're still watching at this point, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love music just as much as I do. As always, I'll be doing one of these a year, so come next March, this list may be extremely different, or it may be somewhat the same. I don't know, but we'll see where my music journey takes me in this next year. Once again, thank you for watching. As always, you already know what I say. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, out.